We're come this morning to the second in our October sermon series on our DNA, or the things that make up us as a church. And it's the same thing, it's just our basic annual discipleship series that we do every single October, where we look at the 5 key values of discipleship. And for us as Methodists, those are prayers, presence, gifts, service, and witness. They're the 5 things that when you join the church, we bring you down front and we ask you at a new membership lunch or something like that, will you support this congregation and each other with your prayers, your presence, your gifts, your service, and your witness. And they're not just nebulous things that we grabbed out of nowhere. If you read Scripture as we're going through this month, you'll see that they're the key foundations of what it means to follow Christ. And the first of those, obviously, is prayer. We talked about that last week. You know, prayer should be something more than a laundry list of things we want, or a list of unpleasant experiences in life that we want God to fix for us. But should be something we enjoy. So we spent the end of the sermon last week asking each and every one of us to focus this coming week on a simple question. And that simple question was, do we enjoy prayer? And if prayer is something more than that laundry list of do's and don'ts, then you should. You should enjoy spending time learning about yourself, dwelling among God in His presence. Which brings us to this week. We shift from prayer and we begin to talk about presents. And I don't mean presents with a T, like the things you receive on your birthday or under the Christmas tree, although those might seem a little more exciting at times. I mean presents, that we're present together this morning, that we share our presence with one another, that we as a people dwell in the presence of God. And the hard part about sharing presence, having community with one another, the hard part about that is that you have to actually engage with other people. And if you haven't noticed, other people at times can be really, really hard to deal with. If any of you worked with the general public or with other folks, you realize that there can be a challenge at times in dealing with people. You know, none of us are sitting there thinking, I want to go to Walmart right at 5 o'clock. Because it will be so much fun to literally run into everyone who lives in mineral wells in one place, when I just needed to go and get a couple things. None of us sit there and dream about the day that we get to go to the DMV and wait in line for hours to renew our driver's license, because we love people so much. None of us are thankful when we have to sit in traffic with all of these other people operating their cars in our way. See, we're not thankful for that. In fact, no person would see those situations as something to be desired. In fact, all of us try to avoid those situations specifically. We tailor our lives around these things. I mean, look at Walmart even. They've developed a whole service to cater to all of us.